Why do software vendors always get project plans wrong? I'm going to explain to you on a whiteboard in 60 seconds. So here's a vendor project plan. Let's assume they tell you it's going to be 12 months to deploy the latest and greatest technology. The problem here is this 12 months is not realistic. It never was. And why is that? What are the reasons why a tech project plan is going to go over budget? Well, first of all, the assumptions are wrong. Usually they're overly optimistic. They usually assume a best case scenario, and they usually assume that you're just doing a technical deployment. They also assume that you're going to make decisions quickly. They assume you're going to train people quickly. You're going to get all the people in the right room whenever they need them. All this stuff's going to materialize that will never happen because you have a business to run. So the assumptions themselves are incorrect. That's the first thing that's wrong. Now, the next thing that's wrong that extends the life cycle, and this alone, by the way, is enough to extend the duration of the project well beyond 12 months. But then you add to this the fact that now you haven't factored in things like change management. In other words, how fast can your organization change? Most technology implementers can implement a lot faster than an organization can change. So that further extends the project. Simply because your organization isn't able to change fast enough, and that's not a bad thing. It just means it's a lot easier to deploy technology than it is to do effective change management. You also add things like data migration. So you might have data that's dirty. You add things like process changes. You add integration to third party systems. All these things add up and further extend the project. So then what happens is this 12 months now becomes something more like 18 or 24 months or whatever the number is. And this is why you need to have a realistic plan to start. You need to take your vendor or your system integrator's technical project plan, take it with a grain of salt, because they haven't factored in the right assumptions. They don't have the right things baked into the plan. They're just looking at one myopic view of what they need to do, but this is all the stuff you need to do as an organization, and that's why the projects extend well beyond what they think.